So currently I have this PDF with all of my questions on it. And you'll notice that there's some text, there's a graph, another graph. And so if I scroll down, you'll see there's even more stuff here. What I want to do is take this and put it into an assessment so that my students can be graded. So first thing I'm going to do is come back to Schoology. I'm going to use this little line to put it here. And then from here, I am going to choose Add an Assessment. It'll load. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Delete This Assessment. Choose your due date. You can adjust your points. So if you don't want it to be 100 points, change it here. Next, you need to enable submissions. You can choose a range though. All right, but I'm just going to enable it. Next, choose your grading category. For me, it's ungraded because I'm an LTI. I don't have kids, blah, blah, blah. And then everything else looks the same. And then I hit create. From here, you're going to see the setup screen. And so my instructions, I'm going to paste here. So I'm going to go back to Adobe. What I've noticed with Adobe is it can be finicky when you're going to copy something. See how my cursor was a browser? If I pause for a second, then I can come along and drag across like this. And I can do Control-C on my keyboard, and that copies it. I'll return to my assessment, and I'll do Control-V, as in vacuum cleaner, to paste it. And so now that sticks it in. The other things that you want to pay attention to on this screen, student setup, you may want them to view their results. That's your choice. You also may want to adjust the number of times they can take it. The other setting that people adjust is the time limit up here at the top, as well as random order. We're going to leave it in the same order, and we'll show possible points. If you like all those, just click Save. The next thing we're going to do is move on to the actual questions and set them up. When doing the questions, I'm going to use two types, short answer and file type. You'll see that Schoology gives you a prompt about adding questions. You could click this button, or you could scroll back up to the top and click this one for questions. Over here on the left, you'll notice that I said I was going to use two types of questions. And so I am picking, there's short answer / essay right here. And then there's file upload, which I might use when I want students to show their work. Okay, so let's get started. The first question I have, this one right here. Since I want them to show their work, I am going to do a file upload. And so to get started, this is the first thing I'm going to copy. So again, notice you have to wait a second, let it slow down. Highlight this information right here. I'm going to do Control-C, go back to my assessment, and I am going to do a file upload type question. So here we go. Click that button, and it'll take a second to load. Right here, I'm going to paste my question from Adobe. You'll notice that the text looks fine. Over here to the right, if I scroll up and down, you'll notice I can preview my questions. There's not much here though. So I'm going to press enter. When I do that, I get this little text editor, and this is how you insert images. And I decided that I wanted to screen capture this information. So I captured this plus this. It was just easier than retyping this table. You could put all this stuff in a table, but for the sake of time, it really doesn't matter if it's a picture. If you want to be able to manipulate this, then I would definitely put it in as a table, but I am only going to just use this graphic. So to do this, I'm going to press the Window key plus Shift and S. I'm holding down Windows and then I'm adding Shift plus S. That brings up my screen capture software. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to copy this plus this. And then you get this. I left click on the snip. And then what I do is I save it. So I'm going to hit save. And then you'll have a folder that I created ahead of time in my pictures called graphs. And then what I do is I type in a name. And since I've already saved this and done this already, you'll see there's the name. And then I would hit save. And that saves it on my file. So again, you can see as well that I copied this. You could put these numbers in a table, and I also copied this. So those are the three things that I copied for this particular assessment. So what I'm going to do next is use the image button right here. I'm going to left click on it. And then here's my folder with my images in it. And I'm going to come over here and choose this one. And I'm just going to drag it over as such. I will put in alternative text. This is for devices that need screen readers. And so I'm going to call this nitrate concentration. And this is a dot plot. And then I'm going to scroll down just a wee bit and click OK. So now this is in there, but I still don't have a place for them, a prompt for them yet. That's just all information. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to go back to Adobe, and I am going to copy this information right here. So I'm just going to copy that, go back to my assessment, paste, hit enter a couple times, insert again so I'm going to just go up here so I can see my text editor, and I'm going to add my other image, go back to that folder, and I need the box plot. So I'm going to drag it over as before, and I'm going to call it nitrate concentration box plot. And I'm going to click OK. Now, if you want to center these, notice if I left click here, I can come up here and I can choose center. And I can do the same for this one right here. So I can do the same for this one right here. And I can hit center right here, and that'll center that image as well. Alright, so below that, I'm going to actually put the first prompt. So I'll go back to my assessment, which was in Adobe, and I'm going to copy this right here. Again, we gotta wait until it changes. And copy. Go back to my assessment, and I am going to come below this image and paste. Now, if you want this to the left, again, highlight it, scroll back up, and choose left alignment for that. And there you go. Put a little space in between. The last thing you need to do is hit save. If you had a rubric for scoring these, you could attach that here, or some learning objectives. I'm going to hit save though. I do want to point out right here that for points, you can click here and change it. The other type of question was short answer, and this is where you want them to explain something. And so again, I would come down here, and I'm just going to shortchange this and say where. So I'm going to wait for my cursor to change, and I'm going to copy this. And so this is a short answer type question. Control C, come back here to the assessment. And if I wanted the graph or the image from above to show up, then I could stick that in there. So I could do this. This is the other way to navigate to an image. You just do this, and you don't have to have the folder up. You can see why I had the folder up. I like dragging and dropping better. But I'm going to come over here to graphs. And it was this one that was up below before. So I can just do that, and then nitrate. And scroll down just a wee bit, this one. And then I can put my short answer question right here. The thing I can do is come down here and paste my question. For short answer, I checked this box just in case they seem to be a bit wordy. And then I will hit save. The other thing I meant to tell you was for file upload. So just to edit a question, I'm just going to click on it. Because I forgot to do one key thing. Because maybe you want more than one file being uploaded. So I'm going to change this to 5. And then I'll hit save here. And that's how you edit a question as well. Again, you can adjust the points. This one's worth 5 times as much as this one. And so basically this number right here gets divided into 100. And that's how you figure out what each one's worth. So as you add questions, it'll take this total number of points and divide it by your original setup when you were first creating this assignment. So again, when you're first setting this up, I'm going to come over here to the edit button. If you want to adjust the points, I'm going to choose edit from the gear icon. And then right here is where you would change the total number of points. You can adjust the title, due date, all that stuff.